Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. In this week's program, Pakistan's Long March meets further challenges. Disguised police officers in Sri Lanka try to disrupt protests. 10th anniversary of torture victim Maina Sunuwar's death. Extrajudicial killings in broad daylight in Bangladesh. And the AHRC makes 17 written submission on human rights issues in Asia to the UN. Pakistani social activist is murdered. From Voices of Survivors, this week from the Philippines. Stay with us for more on these issues. Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. I am Danilo Reyes. Threats continue for Baloch long marchers in Pakistan. This week, we continue our coverage of the peaceful long march in Pakistan. The marchers are demanding for immediate halt to the ongoing forced disappearances in Balochistan. The march completed its 100th days last Sunday and have now covered more than 2,700 kilometers. Reports indicate that while protesters have reached Punjab, they are being continuously threatened. The marchers were stopped by a large group of police who blocked them from entering the city of Gujarat. However, the marchers staged a sit-in on the main highway. After several encounters with the police and authorities, the activists were allowed to proceed. The march, according to reports, were disrupted by persons wearing civilian clothes who demanded that activists divulge their identities and their home addresses. During these disruptions, Mr. Mama Kadir, who is leading the march, was threatened by physical harm in an attempt to stop the march from entering the city of Rawalpindi. Mr. Kadir also received several threatening telephone calls during the march. The marchers have then reached an area just 10 miles outside Wazirabad, where Kadir and his supporters addressed crowds. Reports received by the AHRC have also revealed that the marchers have been surrounded in Wazirabad with a police cordon, which included a contingent of female police officers. Female police officers are generally brought in women activists and being arrested. This has caused fear among activists. Several police officers were caught red-handed in an attempt to violently disrupt a peaceful protest march organized by residents and human rights activists in Chilaw, northwestern province of Sri Lanka. The peaceful demonstration was to commemorate the brutal killing of civilians by police last year. Video footage recorded by protesters shows residents apprehending 3 men amongst the protesters. They had been sent in a premeditated effort by the police and the government to disrupt and cause violence and havoc amongst the protesters. Protesters carrying iron bars apprehended the suspects and demanded that senior police officers arrest them. In an ensuing argument, a senior police officer has admitted to these men belonging to police intelligence unit and is heard saying, "Yes, these men are from the intelligence unit and they have failed their task." Meanwhile, another police officer is recorded as saying, "Yes, we could have attacked, but we didn't." It has become common in Sri Lanka for the police to suppress any rights-based protest or demonstrations with brute force. Reports show the police personnel in civilian clothes have been the instigator of several violent incidents during many such peaceful demonstrations in the recent past. This story is yet another example of the government's attempt to deny people's basic rights of freedom of expression, association, and speech in Sri Lanka. It has been 10 years since Maina Sunuwar succumbed to death due to torture and rape by the Nepal Army officers. She was 14 years old and studying in grade 9 when taken by the Nepal Army on 17 February 2004. The AHRC participated in the 10th anniversary of Maina on 17 February 2014, which was organized at Bagwati Higher Secondary School, Kaveri District in Nepal. Maina Sunuwar, Maina's mother, has been relentlessly seeking for justice. The Nepal Army conducted an internal inquiry and court-martialed officers involved in September 2005. They were sentenced to only 6 months army imprisonment. In 2007, the Supreme Court ordered the civilian authorities to carry out investigations and prosecute the army officers involved in her torture and death. As a result, arrest warrants were issued for 4 army personnel. None of them have been brought before the court, and the army refuses to cooperate with the civilian authorities, arguing that the military court handled the case. Human rights campaigners and victims' mother insist that the army officers should be tried in a civilian court. Her family continues to wait for justice. Maina's mother and Devi's campaign for truth and justice is one of the hundreds of other insurgency-related cases in Nepal that have been neither investigated nor resulted in punishment for the perpetrators.
दिवस मनाइरहँदाखेरि आँखाबाट आँसु त के यहाँ बोल्ने आवाज पनि मेरो गला पनि मेरो अवरुद्ध भइरहेको छ। छोरी यातना पछि बलात्कार गरेर मारिए। एउटा राज्यको एउटा अंग यो देशमा हामी जस्ता गरिबहरूको हामी जनताको ले दिएको पैसा खाएर तलब खाएर बस्ने राज्यको एउटा अंगले एउटा निर्दोष 14 वर्षकी बालिकालाई लगेर यातना पछि बलात्कार गरेर मारियो र त्यसको लडाईमा आजसम्म लागिरहेको छु म र अहिलेसम्म मैले न्याय पाएको छैन। न्यायको लागि अब कति लड्न पर्ने हो थाहा छैन। यो देशको न्याय कस्तो हुन्छ? यो न्याय यो देशलाई न्याय यो देशका जनताहरूलाई यो देशका पीडितहरूलाई कसले न्याय दिन्छ? यो राज्यले बुझिरहेको छैन न्याय दिन पर्ने हो कि नपर्ने हो। यो पीडित हुन् कि होइनन् भन्ने कुरो अहिलेसम्म राज्यले छुटाउन सकेको अवस्था छैन। त्यसकारण यो न्यायको लागि यो संघर्ष निरन्तर जारी रहनेछ। र मेरो मात्रै नभएर यो 10 वर्ष जनयुद्धमा 14-15 हजार नेपाली आमाका छोराछोरीहरू यसै गरी मारिए, बेपत्ता भए र अहिलेसम्म पनि कसैको छोराछोरी कहाँ लगेर मारिएको छ, कसले लगेर बेपत्ता बनाएको छ, त्यो अहिलेसम्म नि राज्यले जवाफ दिएको छैन। त्यसकारण यो सबै घटनाको प्रतिनिधिमूलक मैना सुनुवार हुन्। मेरी छोरी मात्रै नभएर मेरी छोरी विश्वको छोरी भएकी छिन्। तर राज्य नै त्यो अपराधी भएपछि हाम्रो केही लाग्दो रहन्छ। त्यो जवाफ भनेको राज्यले दिन पर्ने थियो। किनकि जे गरे पनि जसो गरे पनि जसलाई मारे पनि जसलाई बेपत्ता बनाए पनि जवाफ दिन पर्दैन भन्ने चाहिँ राज्यको त्यो मनसाय भएर नि हामीले अहिलेसम्म न्याय नपाइरहेको अवस्था छ।
The story of extrajudicial murder by law enforcement agencies is taking a new turn in Bangladesh. The country's paramilitary force, Rapid Action Battalion, and the Bangladesh police have established their pattern of extrajudicial killings. The official story is a familiar one. The officers of RAB and police take a detainee to a place where he confessed illegal weapons are hidden. The arrival of the paramilitary or police officers during the night results in a gun battle with the alleged associates of the detainee, and the officers respond with lethal force. The detainee is shot. The officers rush him to a hospital and doctors declare him dead. These stories are followed by press release supplied by law enforcement agencies. An alternative ending of the story: the law enforcement agencies claim after the gun battle, the body of the detainee is found dead at the scene. They inform the local people who identify the deceased as criminal. Subsequently, the police circulate that the deceased person had a number of criminal cases pending against him. However, the people of Bangladesh do not believe these stories. In most of these cases, the allegations against the deceased have been found untrue. The charges are fabricated deliberately to brand the deceased a criminal, so the crimes of the law enforcement agents receive public support. On 15 February, the police murdered 2 persons in front of dozens of people in the capital city of Dhaka. The police arrested 2 suspects in their homes and took them to a place called Suti Kalpar Balurmat in Jatrabari area. The police murdered by shooting them. The victims have been identified as Salahuddin, a 29-year-old, and Chilaw, a 28-year-old businessman. Their family members also witnessed the scene of murder. Both victims' hands were tied behind their backs at the time of their death. Bangladesh culture of impunity protects the perpetrators from prosecution. Neither the judiciary nor the National Human Rights Commission of Bangladesh takes up these matters as important issue for their institutional dignity. AHRC's sister organization, the Asian Legal Resource Center, has made 17 separate written submissions to the United Nations Human Rights Council for its 25th session starting next month in Geneva, Switzerland. The submission covers a wide range of topics, including the essential requirement of criminal justice institution reforms in Asia to protect, promote, and fulfill human rights in the continent. The AHRC has argued that at the moment, in international forums like UN, such debate are absent, and the submission in AHRC's attempt to bring to the fore this issue. The submission covers also issues like disappearances in Pakistan, torture and extrajudicial executions in countries like Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and the Philippines, and the fundamental concern about the structured denial of the right to food in India and the Philippines. The AHRC has general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the UN. The submissions are available to be downloaded at AHRC's website, www.ahlrc.net. Once again, www.ahlrc.net. In Pakistan, social activist Mr. Sahib Khan Bhutto was killed by the intelligence agency last Monday, 17 February 2014. The deceased was the president of the Jihi Sindh Muttahida Mahaz, or the JSMM in Pakistan. According to reports, he was kidnapped on February 14 while returning home from a court hearing. Fabricated charges of illegal possession of explosives were filed against him. The intelligence service agency officers detained him for 3 days and tortured him in custody. Mr. Bhutto's body had gunshot wounds when found near a railway crossing in Naushiro Firozi, Sindh area. Mr. Bhutto's burial was attended by thousands of residents and activists, where there was a public outcry and massive protests against his murder. At the time of his death, Mr. Bhutto was defending himself from fabricated charges against him in court. The accusations against him were made based on a previous arrest made in November 2010 by the same authorities. In today's Voices of Survivors, we speak with Abina Rumbawa, a relative of several torture victims. The victims, Jijon Makalinsal, a cousin, Abubakar Amil Hassan, her brother-in-law, and Arsul Ginta, also a relative, were illegally arrested, tortured, detained, and prosecuted on fabricated charges by the police.
Mga nakita na ko din ang mga perpetrator is bias. Nganong masulti na kung bias siya. Dihang pagdakop pa lang or pag-raid or pag-arrest nila sa mga innocenteng civilian is kulang sila og data. Automatic pagkakita nila sa tao kung mauna ang gitudlo, diretso na sila mo walay investigation. Dire-diretsong dalhon, matod pa i-invite sa office. Pero i-interrogate nila pinaagi sa pressure nila sa mga tao para sana makasulti og tinuod kay ginapasakitan man sila. Dili lang sa sulti kundi pati na ang physical. So sa ato ang protection kunuhay sa mga civilian or sa hisugutan ng tao, ang ato ang hustisya sa Pilipinas dili gyud tinuod protection sa mga tinuod nga biktima kundi protection sa pipila ng mga dato. Kay ang prisuhan dili siya prisuhan sa dato bisa pag nakasala ang mga dato kundi prisuhan sa mga pobre nga walay kakayahan o bisag walay sala. Mura og mamahimong gihimo nilang accomplishment ang pagdakop sa mga inosenteng sibilyan aron lang una mutaas ang rangko, ikaduha katong budget yearly sa mga intelligent kundi pagpangita sa mga salarin kunuhay. Pero kung atong i-analyze pag-ayo ang ilahang mga ano, wala man sila nakita. Halimbawa sa bombing, na ba sila nakita nga tinuod nga bomber jud? Wala mga inosente ang ilahang gina-arrest.
On 29 October 2010, after 8 years of trial, all the accused were acquitted for alleged illegal possession of explosives. The court also held that the explosive materials were in fact planted by the police. That is all for this week's Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. For more information on these issues, please go on to www.humanrights.asia. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again next week.